please don't look. Got too close. I don't like my hair like that. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kate, and today I wanted to film a little chit chat, get ready with me, and talk about my college freshman year reflection and how my freshman year went for me and what kind of happened leading up to that. So I guess we'll just start off with my senior year of high school, what happened then. Basically, I started applying to colleges like everybody else, but I kind of had like a pretty solid idea, like I knew where I wanted to go, and I wanted to go to UNC Chapel Hill, like pretty bad. So I applied there, and then I knew that I had to apply to other schools just because it's too risky to apply to only one school. So I also applied to NC State, University of South Carolina, University of Florida, Notre Dame, University of Virginia, and UCLA. I think that was all. But yeah, so I applied and I was feeling like honestly pretty confident about my application. Like I knew it wasn't perfect, like my scores weren't perfect and all that. Spray. So I applied and waited, and the first school that I heard back from was NC State, and I got in, so that made me feel really good. I was like, okay, I got into one school. Now I think I have a chance of getting into my dream school. So it came around like, I think it was January time, and that's when UNC decisions were coming out, and a lot of decisions were coming out. Like I know Notre Dame came out then, and I think Virginia. So it was a big month for me, and I'll just tell you now that it did not go well. I mean, I got my letter, or it wasn't a letter, it was an email from UNC, and I'll never forget it because that was one of the worst days ever. It said that I had been deferred, so that basically meant that like I wasn't admitted at that moment, but they would reconsider me for regular decision, which, so it's like not an acceptance, but it's not a rejection either. It's just really confusing, honestly. So that really put me down, and then on top of that, I knew at this point that my boyfriend, pretty surely he was going to move to Indiana and go to Notre Dame. So, and by the way, I did not get into Notre Dame, so at that point I was feeling really depressed about it because I knew that I was probably going to be in a long distance relationship no matter where I ended up at school. Before the UNC decision came out, I got my University of Florida decision, and I don't even know why I applied to UF. Like there really wasn't a reason, honestly. I kind of applied. I think I found some videos online, like a little tours of the campus, and I thought it was really pretty, and I just ended up applying, and I actually got in, which was awesome. But like again, it wasn't my #1 pick. I wasn't like excited about going there, but I was excited that I got into a school, if that makes sense. And after that, my UNC decisions finally came out, and I was waitlisted. And so at this point I was like extremely frustrated because I'd already been deferred, which was not an acceptance, not a rejection, and then later I got waitlisted, which is the same thing. So I was just like pretty over it at that point. Like I just didn't want to do it anymore. I was frustrated, and so I did not put myself on the wait list. I was just like, I'm over it, I don't want to go anymore. So I got rejected from my dream school. I got rejected from the school that my boyfriend was going to, that I would have wanted to go to be with him, which isn't the best reason to pick a school, I'll be honest, but didn't get in. Got rejected from UVA and UCLA. So I got into Florida, South Carolina, and NC State, and these were all schools like that I really kind of didn't want to go to. So at that point I was just like, I don't know what to do, but I had toured Florida and really liked it. I just didn't really want to go there because I was so stuck on UNC that like any other school, it didn't really matter to me because I was just bitter about getting rejected from my dream school. So my entire senior year I just had a really bad attitude about the whole thing. I was bitter the whole year. Like, I didn't embrace the opportunity senior year because I just felt, I don't know, like disappointed in myself. I felt embarrassed. It was really hard to like go to school and just see everybody else that got into the school that I wanted to go to, because I'm from North Carolina, so a lot of people choose to go to UNC. So that was really rough for me, but I decided to go to Florida because it was the school that I thought was most interesting to me, but at the same time still didn't want to go. So it came summertime and I had a really bad summer because I was just the whole time, again, just bitter. I was just still so mad and upset that I didn't get into the school that I wanted, and so I just decided that I was gonna wreck my own summer and not have fun, not do anything that I wanted to do, and that was awful. And I went into my freshman year at Florida just with a really bad attitude, and I just told myself that like, you're not gonna like it there. It's like not your place where you want to be. But I mean, I had no choice. Like, I was going to college. So when I got there, I ended up rushing a sorority, which honestly was the best thing I did my freshman year. I think that anyone that's going to a college that has Greek life should most definitely rush. Like, even if you don't think it's for you, just try it, because you have everything to gain and nothing to lose from rush. And even if you don't think it's for you after going through rush and like you don't want to join a house, whatever, at least you went through rush and you made friends during that process, because it's like a week long and you're sweating and dying with a bunch of girls. So I think that's something to bond over. So I think that everyone should go through rush, at least just to make friends through that process. But rush actually ended up working out for me really well, because I found my house at UF and I'm in Zeta Tau Alpha, and I seriously, like, I love it. It made my freshman year a million times better because it introduced me to people that understood what I was going through. Like, they understood the pain that I felt for not getting into the school that I wanted to, and they were just really supportive the whole time, and they made it fun for me. Like, I was kind of the person that, like, I never really wanted to go out with my friends, and I never really wanted to go do anything. I just wanted to like stay in my room, study, because I just wasn't feeling it. I was just feeling down, depressed, and like for no reason either, because at this point it had been like months past since the entire thing with senior year happened, and I was rejected from over half the schools that I applied to. So I had no reason to still let that whole thing affect my mood, but I did anyway. And the girls in Zeta, they truly helped me to get over it and move past it and see that Florida is an amazing place to be. Being there, I also worried about my boyfriend and our relationship, because he was over 1,000 miles away in Indiana, and I was honestly like unsure if we could make that with like the distance and everything, because long distance relationships are really, really hard, and I know they take a lot of effort and work, and not that I wasn't willing to put in the effort and the work. You know, college is busy. You just don't know if you'd be able to like stay in touch and like have the same relationship that you did when you lived 5 minutes from each other. You know what I mean? So, but I was actually pleasantly surprised because, hold on, I'm gonna spray again. Drench my face in the setting spray. I was pleasantly surprised by the long distance relationship because I felt like it wasn't going to go well. I felt like I was gonna have a really hard time with it. But honestly, it made my relationship stronger, and I think that if you are a senior in high school or you and your boyfriend, girlfriend are going through a long distance relationship, or you want to like go to different colleges and then you're going to be separated, if you're worried about that, I think it's just that you have to give it a chance, because you may be surprised, like if you and your boyfriend or girlfriend have a really strong connection, like relationship, you trust each other, you communicate well, you can get through it. But I think what really helped a lot was FaceTime. Like that was super helpful. We FaceTimed every night, and that honestly made everything so much easier because you feel like they're there even though they're not. It's just, it makes it better to get to like see their face and hear their voice. So that's another thing, like we're super lucky today with all the technology that we have. It makes all that a lot easier with long distance, and it all worked out for me in that sense. And my freshman year, like looking back on it, I started out with the worst attitude I could have ever had, but the people in my life that really cared about me, like they made it all better and they helped me through it. And that's really what matters to me the most. So like it's just a life lesson that things are not always going to go your way. I'm sorry, I have to curl my eyelashes for like 10 minutes or else they're gonna go. Things in life aren't always going to go your way. Like that's just how it is. And instead of doing what I did and just making the worst of it and being negative all the time, I think that we should embrace the times like when things don't go our way, because you never know like what you're missing out on. I missed out on so much my senior year because I was just like a couch potato and didn't do anything with my life. And all for nothing, because I was so bitter about not getting into this school that I really wanted to go to, when it turns out that school wasn't my place for me to begin with, because where I'm at now is clearly my home. Like I didn't have the best attitude about it in the beginning, but I honestly love it. I met the best people in the whole world there. And I love the environment there. It's just, it's so cool and it's fun, and I just had like the best year, and I wasted my entire senior year worrying about not liking it and being bitter about not getting accepted to UNC and Notre Dame, when I should have just been like embracing the opportunity to be like, I can move to Florida, like this is gonna be so fun, like be excited for a rush and be excited for the new people that I was going to meet. Like I think that even if you don't get into the college that you want to go to, you have to remember that you're gonna meet like amazing people wherever you go. And as long as you embrace all those opportunities, like you're gonna have a good time. And that's like a huge life lesson, I think, because no one likes negative people. I was super negative. I regret it so much. And I think that things in life happen for a reason. Like, I know that's cliche and some people don't believe that, but I truly think that like things happen in your life, like you go through struggles and hardships or just difficult times to help make you stronger and for something that's going to happen in your future. being rejected from college, it honestly is probably one of the worst feelings in the whole world, because you feel like you worked so hard for something for so long. Like, I know, at least for myself, like the 4 years that I was in high school, I truly gave it like 100% of my effort. Like, I felt like I was studying constantly and like always putting in work, and I was doing extracurricular activities, I was doing clubs, and I was doing so much. And when you get rejected from a school, it feels like you weren't good enough, or like it wasn't enough for them. And that's honestly just not true, because I think everyone has amazing qualities in themselves. In some schools, they're just not going to see it in you for whatever reason it may be. But the schools that do see it in you, like, they clearly think that you have special qualities that could contribute to make that school better. And so that could potentially be the place for you. And that's not to say that if you get to a school and you just don't like it and you know that it's not your place, that you shouldn't be able to transfer out, because I think that that's something that you should definitely do if you know that you're unhappy. I'm more just so saying that in the beginning, if you're unhappy with where you are because you're bitter about that not being your number one choice or something like that, you should give it a chance, because at least in my experience, it totally worked out for me. And I think that it could work out for you too if you just give it a chance and see where that takes you, because there's so much to get involved in college. I mean, I got involved in Greek life, but there's so much more than that. There's so many clubs, like hundreds of clubs that you can join, and I guarantee there's a club for your interest, and you can meet people there, meet people in your dorm. I didn't live in a dorm my freshman year. I lived in an apartment, which I loved my apartment, and I loved living there because it was kind of like an easier transition, I feel, from home to an apartment, as opposed to a dorm where you have to like community bathrooms and share a room with somebody. So I was pretty lucky with that. But also, like, I know that people that do live in dorms, like, they meet so many friends there in their hall, and you just open up your door and people walk in, and it's a great place to meet people. So there's so many opportunities in college, and I know that we all have an idea where we want to go when we're in high school, and we just think that that's our place. But the truth is, it's really hard to grasp an idea of like what college you think is right for you just by going on a campus tour, because campus tours don't really show you much of anything, to be honest. Like, they show you the school and like, oh, this is the stadium, this is the dorms, here are some classrooms, like whatever. But those aren't the things that matter in college. Like, what the campus looks like, what the stadium looks like, what this looks like those things aren't what determines your happiness in your school. So the place that you think might be your place because you liked the way the campus looked on the tour may not actually be your place. I think you have to go there and see what kind of people you meet there, and like the lifestyle there, and kind of more like the vibe, and that's how you realize where you're meant to be. Because I would have never picked Florida as my place, but it turned out to be my place because I just love the people there and the environment, and I would have never got any of that from a campus tour. Okay, so my battery died, but anyway, I am done with my makeup, so that means I'm done with this chit chat. But I just wanted to say that God's plan for you is better than your plan for yourself, and I think we should need to remember that when we're going through rough times, that it's going to get better, everything's going to be okay, and you just have to have a positive attitude. I hope you guys liked this video. Please subscribe if you did, and give this video a thumbs up. And I plan on making a lot more videos this summer, and then making a lot more when I get back to college in less than a month. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.